A tale of two halves is a cliche used often to describe football matches. However, it is the one that is perfect to describe Liverpool's 2-1 win over Swansea City at the Liberty Stadium, giving Liverpool four consecutive wins now in EPL play. So, really, just a huge result when you consider how things played out. The first half was absolutely atrocious from the Reds. Lacked the inspiration, the passion that we have seen from them so often throughout this young season. Really, Swansea gave the Reds a taste of their own medicine, pressing the ball and pressing effectively. Possession seemed like it was relatively even for me. However, Swansea did a lot more with theirs. And, Liverpool fans have been talking about how, oh, this might be the team that is finally turning a corner when it comes to defending set pieces. But as it turns out, the Reds still have quite a ways to go on that front because the goal that was conceded came off of a corner kick that could have easily been avoided. Nathaniel Klein and Dijon Lovren both not as focused as they needed to be as Leroy Fair scored his fourth goal of the season. So, Leroy Fair has been a pretty prolific player for the Swans. Give him credit. I thought he played well in every third of the pitch. But, it was just really maybe the worst half of football the Reds have played this entire season. So, James Milner made no secret of the fact in his post-match presser that Klopp was angry, and as very well he should be, with that performance in the first half. Probably gave something akin to the hairdresser treatment, the hair dryer treatment that Sir Alex Ferguson used to do at Manchester United. I'm sure whatever was said was with plenty of rage. So that energy was certainly transmitted. The message got fully across as the Reds really just dominated play in the second half. Every time Swansea held the ball, you could just tell it was going to be a matter of time before Liverpool closed down, won the ball back, and made something happen. So, naturally, the goal that Liverpool scored was well deserved. It wasn't actually in the run of play. The equalizer came off of a set piece. Philippe Coutinho's free kick went straight into the Swansea City wall. However, Jordan Henderson made a great first touch pass out of the air to Roberto Firmino, who played a great poacher's goal into the back of the net. That's the type of movement that just can't be taught. It's just instinctive. So Firmino, I thought, played pretty well today. Certainly picked it up in the second half, and it was nice to see the little pow, 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 pow action with Sadio Mane after getting the equalizer. It was pouring down at the Liberty Stadium with rain. The weather was kind of all over the place, as was the match, if you will. But really, the game-winning goal was also set up by Roberto Firmino. He was taken down in the box from behind. And, James Milner has become Mr. Reliability from the penalty spot. 4 of 4 now in the season. He pulled the little Andrea Pirlo action in there, chipping it down the middle. And, that was very rewarding for Liverpool fans to watch that. Meanwhile, the Reds really showing a lot more in the second half. A tale of two halves, like I said. And for Liverpool to go out on the road, grind out this result, it's the type of result that champions are made of. Now, I am not necessarily ready to call Liverpool favorites to win the Premier League by any means, but I think this type of performance today justifies why bookmakers have Liverpool as the second most likely team to win the Premier League. And it was a nice revenge, if you will, from the last trip to Liberty Stadium. Liverpool lost 3-1 last season, and you just knew that if things didn't change quickly in the second half, it was going to be a long day. Now, major areas of concern for Liverpool heading into the international break. Adam Lallana and Dijon Lovren both picked up injuries, so you would assume that they're going to be out of their international matches, and they're going to be in a fitness race to get fit for the October 17th Monday Night Football showdown against Manchester United. Really, Lallana has been so important for the Reds this season. It's kind of interesting how Sadio Mane was named PFA Player of the Month for the entire Premier League, but he didn't win the Team Zone Player of the Month because, Liverpool fans who watch closely know that Adam Lallana has probably been the best player so far this season, has certainly worked the hardest. That being said, in the first half, the only player who impressed me was Sadio Mane. Mane always brings it, no matter what. He's the type of man for any moment. Philippe Coutinho was a little bit disappointing today. Did not get the performance out of him that I would have hoped for. The same can be said for Daniel Sturridge, who got subbed on early in the first half after Lallana went down. He was annoyed visibly with the service he was getting, but he didn't take his head out of the game altogether. So it'll be important to see how Sturridge responds to him not being a first choice player. Is he willing to continue to fight for his place in the side? Defensively, even though Swansea only scored one goal, they could have scored a lot more. They had a great chance, especially in the final minute of stoppage time. And, our young keeper, Loris Karius, did not exactly give an impressive performance. Looked shaky out there at times, came out when perhaps he should not have, hesitated in crucial moments. But I did like his distribution, that's for sure. It's obviously way better than Simon Mignolet's. But, he has, a battle to gain confidence. Both of his first two Premier League matches have not ended in clean sheets, so it'll be very important to get his first Premier League clean sheet sooner than later. And for Swansea City, it's tough for them, the situation they're in, because Francesco Guidolin is looking at a situation where he might celebrate his 61st birthday in sad fashion, likely going to get the sack from the new Swansea owners who don't seem to be backing him. And it's a cruel business because he does not deserve to get sacked for losing to a superior Liverpool side in which they just thoroughly outplayed them in the first half. However, that is the cruel nature of the football management business, particularly in the Premier League. Now, Jurgen Klopp, he is going to have plenty of time to digest this result, understand how Liverpool can get up for these games when they could be caught looking ahead to things like the international break, to Manchester United, the next match, like I said. So, a very, very critical 3 points for Liverpool to pick up. Moving up to second on the table, although most teams have a game in hand on them at this point in time. So, as always, Reds fans, I want to remind you that you will never walk alone, and I'll see you next time.